What up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. And this is the AEW Dynamite review video on November 6, 2024. And yeah, this one was totally great. And then they were even getting prepared for AEW Full Gear, especially already scheduled for two matches in particular, which I thank Anthony Khan for right now, by the way. And yeah, one in particular, hopefully there's going to be justice involved. But anyways, yeah. And despite I'll say maybe a couple of despite maybe a couple of minor bad things that was during the show, which I cannot recall right now, but I will recall them like when I start talking about them. But yeah, most matches were really good. Like we finally got the Jamie versus the Penelope match. We got the Adam Cole versus Malachi match, which by the way was also really great, and also a very banger main event with a surprising return that I did not expect to happen on tonight's Dynamite in particular. But yeah, like I said, really great show. I'll say, like if there's something that I don't see wrong, like on tonight's AEW Dynamite, I'm not gonna just give it like 4.5 stars, just saying. But let's get started with Tony Schiavone calling out for the Hurt Syndicate, like because they have something to say, and including a MVP, which MVP's like, welcome everybody in what's the city they were in? Manchester, New Hampshire. That's where it's like my name is Montel Vontavious Porter, which y'all know me. Y'all better know me as MVP, which the fans chanted along with him. That's where then. And he's like, and here in my left is the standard of greatness, the two-time All-American, I believe. That's where it's at, like in NCAA, right? And him performing at his best from the last few weeks, which he was, and even having a very impressive record at 2-1, which I still think he should have more wins than losses, even though he's getting older. But that does not matter. It's like everybody said, including my older friends, and that is the age is nothing but a number. But anyways, yeah. MVP's he's been in some kind of pretty much with solidifying like intriguing matches, like what if it was with Sammy Guevara, Leo Rush, and even Swerve Strickland. Like even in defeat, he still looked great. That's why he got the standard of greatness nickname, which he is. But this is where the MVP's like, yeah. He's like, and yeah, I got some fearsome competitors here that's standing in this ring, and then the man to my right, he is the Almighty. He's a multi-time world champion. Like in every single promotion he performed, but every single promotion that he was under a contract with, which yeah, obviously was the two companies like that used to be rivals to each other, like and now they're good, positive working partners. But yeah. But yeah, we all know what one of those companies in particular he was referring to when they were the last time they were I'll say a Hurt faction name, a certain Hurt faction, when it was like the four of them, which one of them is still in that company, but the three are now here in AEW, and they look like they're gonna have to find a replacement fourth member. Now they're in this company, but this is where we got MVP. This is where MVP's like. This was like he's a 4-time across 3 different companies, which the first one, the other company that's a rival company, the other that used to be their rival company that's now a working buddy. And I totally forgot, like, what's the other promotion? Like, wasn't it in MMA or wasn't it in wrestling? Well, I'm not sure if I should recall it, but yeah, this is where he referred him as obviously Bobby Lashley. This is where fans are like, yeah, we finally see him. And this is where MVP's like, yeah, we managed to help each other out, like, and rise to become the fistsom that we have become. And this is where fans like, yeah, like y'all sure have. This is where MVP's like, but if I should offer you like a Hurt Syndicate, we help each other out. Like again, the reason why we're here is to help. Like this is where it's like, that's a. And he's like, and I'm gonna tell you that that MVP card like is gonna be your golden ticket to success. And I was like, yeah, I'll say 9 times out of 10 likely, if not a full perfect. But this is where then it's like if you accept it, you're gonna be in a lifetime of success. Like, but if you reject it, like, well, let's say like this is what's gonna happen. Basically, I'm gonna show you right on the Titantron screen is when they show when Bobby Lashley made his TV debut, and this is where this is where they showed when they beat up both Swerve and Prince Nana. This is where we heard Swerve's music start playing because he couldn't take it no more. Like, even though he didn't really mention his name only like once, like after that, but this is where he ends up showing up. This is where we got all the referees, including Aubrey Edwards, trying to stop him, with Swerve taking the wheel from Prince Nana. Normally, Prince Nana will be driving on the way to the ring, but this time, this is where we got Swerve Strickland doing so because he wants Bobby. Right? This is where Swerve Strickland and said, "Give me." And this is where Swerve was like, "Nah, give me the microphone." He's like, "Okay, Swerve." And this is where he gave him the microphone. This is where fans are chanting, like, "Whose house? Swerve's house. Whose house? Swerve's house," in this arena in New Hampshire. This is where Shelton Benjamin was like, "If you have a problem with any of us, why don't you get in the ring?" This is where Swerve Strickland got on the microphone, like, while Shelton Benjamin was trying to help him open the ring for him, the ring rope. This is where Swerve then said what he needed to say, like by saying the guy's name that he's very angry at, that attacked him last week and put him to sleep with the Hurt Lock, and that was none other than Mr. Bobo Lashley. This is where he said his name. This is where Swerve Strickland then said, like, the only thing that's what Swerve said. These only two words that's the name of at this month's pay-per-view, and that was Full Gear. But he didn't say it like that, of course. But he just always said, like, "You, me, Bobby Lashley, Full Gear," which that's gonna be at the fourth. I mean, at the end, like the last Saturday or Sunday, or. But this is where MVP responded back saying, "Okay, we'll see you, kid." And this is where then he gave a huge grin with Swerve doing the complete opposite, with him being absolutely angry, like, because he did not like when Bobby Lashley just ambushed him when he made his in-ring debut. But which is going to be on Saturday, not the fourth Saturday. I'll say the third Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm right. Yeah, it is the fourth Saturday, but it's November 23rd, which is going to be the Saturday before both Thanksgiving and Survivor Series. But anyway, this is where we got move on to the next slide. This is where they show the vignette with the Death Riders and the what's his name? And Orange Cassidy. And yes, I said Death Riders because it's been official, even though John Moxley didn't announce it because he totally forgot that. Yeah, he must have trademarked this and made the announcement that he did so, and he's gonna this day on they're going to be him and his team with Marina Shafir, Pac, Willa Yuta, and Claudio Castagnoli. I was about to say Claudio with an O. Castagnoli, like, in this is the Death Riders, like something like a group from Mad Max. But anyways, yeah. Who do you think is going to win this match between Swerve and Bobby Lashley in Full Gear? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. I'm so hyped up about this match. I hope I get the chance to watch this and review it, which I'm likely going to be doing like 9 times out of 10. But moving on, like, we got the Death Riders is Pac and Claudio Castagnoli came out, like, to take on the freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin, which they didn't waste no time. They once Orange Cassidy like, "Come here, bring it on." This is where Claudio and Pac thought that he was crazy to try to find him on his own without his teammate. His temporary tag team partner, I should say, not his teammate, because they're not in a faction or an alliance or in a duo tag team or whatnot you want to call it. But yeah, this is where it was all just a trick onto them, and because Darby Allin came up right up off the ceiling and just jumped right on top of both Pac and Claudio Castagnoli. That's where then they started going at it with Claudio Castagnoli, just striking onto him, while Pac and Orange Cassidy made it into the ring. That's where Pac was had the upper hand. Where I'm gonna get you back for taking the international championship when it was the All Atlantic Championship at the time for me. And that's where fans are chanting freshly squeezed, and this is where we got Darby Allin go for a sleeper right onto what's his name, onto Claudio Castagnoli, like tap out. This is where then Claudio's like, no, like I'm not in the match. This is where we got Darby Allin threw Claudio Castagnoli right into a barricade. This is where we got the match started, and I'll say, if this match didn't end it like the way it did, I would give it the second place spot, by the way. But it's gonna get the fifth place spot of the red ribbon of the night, because it if it just ended like the way it should have, like maybe I would have gave it the silver trophy, but unfortunately that's no longer the case. But despite it, I don't think it's a very bad match. It's just the ending just didn't even make sense, and that's probably one of the things, if not the only reason why I'm not going to be giving it the high rating, but it's still going to get a very reasonable review, I guess you could say. But this is where we got Pac to go for a roundhouse kick. But this is where we want to try to go for go to the bottom corner ropes and hits what's his name? What's the name? Orange Cassidy with a drop kick, but this is where Orange Cassidy dodges out of the way. This is where he runs into the top corner rope, knees a Pac right into the midsection, flips him right over into a snapmare position, like if he's his own version of Bryan Danielson. This is where Orange Cassidy got his arm up, like this is where he looked like about to hit him with a clothesline from behind. This is where which he kind of did distracted him because he got his back turned, looking right at Wheeler Yuta, saying like, "Why you're with these clowns? Like I'm the reason why you're even here in AEW in the first place." And this is where Pac shut him up by telling him to shut up and hit him with a haluva boot right into the face, like very quickly, even though he had his back turned for a couple of seconds, which that was a big mistake from the Fruit. This is where we got Pac to put up item to the right corner side rope. This is where he's like, and this is where he's like, and you made an even bigger mistake by provoking me and the rest of the Death Rider. And this is where, and he's like, and challenging, what's his name, John Moxley himself for the AEW World Championship as of late. This is where Impact did try to go for a suplex right onto the top of the upper right corner side turnbuckle, right onto the edge of the ropes, and this is where then we got Pac to try to go right up into right onto the suplex. But this is where we got Orange Cassidy did pushes him, made Pac go for a back flip. Well, I thought we were gonna go put his feet up, but this is where he ends up going belly first right into the canvas. This is where we got what's his name? This is where we got what's his name? Yeah, hits a hands-free crossbody, Orange Cassidy. But once he tried to go for a pin, he knew we got the win. He probably would have if it wasn't for that meddling Swiss Superman, or the Swiss man that's trying to be so super duper. But this is where he picks him off of Pac. This is where he tried to go for a gut wrench suplex. This is where he then turned into a gut wrench backbreaker and a gut breaker, or a gutless back and gut breaker, I guess you could say. This is where we got he went right to the bottom corner ropes. Is where he did go back to his corner. This is where Darby Allin came for a shave, but this is where the referee tried to stop him, which I don't understand what was the reason. Like, how come you're not doing this to Claudio, though? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And this is why I start shouting, like, Anthony Khan, do something about this. Your referee's not being a good employee. This is where we got this is where then we got the Death Riders was in the lead, like with them just completely trying to juice out Orange Cassidy, no pun intended. But this is where we got what's his name? Claudio Castagnoli, once he got tagged in, like he completely tumbled in with a clothesline, and then started hitting some other maneuvers onto the freshly squeezed Fruit. This is where we got but once you try to tag Pac back in, I believe, but this is where we got Orange Cassidy intercepted, counter out of him. That's where they sent him right to the corner, tagged in Darby Allin to start hitting all his comeback maneuvers onto to both Pac and Claudio Castagnoli, and even hit a coffin drop right off the bottom, the left corner side on the outside. This is where he go back inside the ring, try to go for a flying DDT, but where he gets caught by the Swiss Cyborg into a Claudio swing. This is where This is where Claudio then flips him right over. This is where right into the left corner side apron. This is where he speared him right to the midsection. This is where he runs right into the right side, but he ends to get it with a back body drop. This is where Claudio try to go for a pin. But this is where we got Darby Allin kicks out at 2.6. He's like, my lower back's so painful. And this is where then Claudio got knows you haven't seen what truly painful looks like. This is where Claudio's like, I'm gonna show you exactly what that means. This is where Claudio's like he's about to hit him with some kind of like a belly to belly suplex. I try to go for like a counter into a springboard, but he ends up getting spinned around like if he's about to do the Blue Thunder Bomb, but he hits him with a Blue Thunder backbreaker instead. But you look like the reason why I call it a Blue Thunder Bomb, a Blue Thunder backbreaker, because he spun him around like if he was about to hit the Thunder Bomb, but he turned it to put his knee out and slams him right in his back with it. Like that's the reason why I would call it that, but. This is where Darby Allin's like, my lower back made it worse. Like, I'm surprised his back was not broken. Like, unless his spine's made out of steel. This is where we got Paxton trying to go for a German suplex. But Darby Allin managed to kick out at 2.7. This is where then this is where the referee's like, yeah, 2, like, not 3. This is where Pac was like, next time, better get it right or else. And this is where the referee's like, you can't threaten me. And then this is where also Nigel McGuinness must have been drinking some of that Cincinnati water, because he was sounding just more crazier than John Moxley was back a few months ago when he told Tony Schiavone that this is no longer his company. And yeah, that's exactly what what's his name, Nigel McGuinness said. Like when Tony Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness would talk about how dominant that the Death Riders have been as of late, ever since they turned on what's his name, Bryan Danielson, of course. But yeah, I thought I might point that out. Like, I was like, wow, like Nigel McGuinness is getting more worse than I thought he's been for the last year, like in AEW in the commentary booth. But yeah, like. That does not make any sense. Like I believe that they need to know the difference between Schiavone and Khan. Like, just because they have the same first name doesn't mean they're the same guys. Like, they're totally different people. Like, one's a commentator for the company, while the other's the owner and CEO and general manager, and even and other things, and even the president of the company. So you cannot get them mixed up when they're in two different positions. One's sitting behind the commentary desk, while the other one's sitting in gorilla, making sure everything is fully executed perfectly, like backstage, of course. But yeah, but this is where we got Paxton. This is where we got what's his name? Then Paxton try to go for a brainbuster once Claudio Castagnoli threw him in his way. This is where Pac try to go for a pin. This is where we got. Despite Claudio Castagnoli were holding on to Orange Cassidy, make sure he don't come for the save, and he was doing a successful job. Darby Allin kicked out at 2.8. This is where Pac's like how many times I tell you, you're going, it's like, and this is where he threatened the referee, saying if I didn't care about winning tonight and proving a point, then I would already done it. But I'm gonna worry about you right after this match. So get the pin right, or I'm gonna change my mind. This is where then he drags Darby Allin right to the bottom right, bottom left corner side, threw him right to the bottom turnbuckle. This is where the Pac then tried to go for an avalanche maneuver. I believe it was a suplex. But that's where we got Darby Allin trying to fight back, but he managed to hit him with a super, stay on offensive ground. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where you probably would have gotten away with. But this is where the meddling fruit came in and went for the save, but Claudio didn't try to send him right to the outside in the bottom corner side. But this is where he hangs onto the rope. Claudio trying to close on him out there, but he flips him right over into a body drop right into the outside. This is where then Orange Cassidy then went right back in his corner in the upper right corner side, trying to wait for him to get the hot tag from the former TNT champion. But that's where we got Paxton picks up the former TNT and AEW tag chip until Darby Allin flips right over to a sunset flip. This is where we got Paxton trying to go for a running leg swiping kick, but this is where he goes dodging it. That's where he flips right. Looked like into right to hit the sunset flip, but it's where he just completely dodged him. This is where he gets the tag, gives a hot tag as actually to the freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. That's where then he ducks out of the way. This is where he hits a right hand to the face onto Pac. This is where he hits the face first, right into the turnbuckle. He started hitting right hands right to the face and face first, right to the turnbuckle. This is where they send him right to the upper right corner side with a turnbuckle. This is where he did the same with the upper right left side. This is where he goes for a hands-free crossbar. Oh, you both here. And Claudio Castagnoli trying to come in to help out his teammate. This is where we got. But this is where both men went right to the outside with Pac going to the top corner side while Claudio going to the bottom corner. This is where he hits the suicide dive to Pac first, and then secondly to Claudio Castagnoli. And then we saw Darby Allin then doing the same, but only to Pac. This is where to make sure you got good measure. This is where he threw him right back inside. This is where Orange Cassidy then about to hit the flying head scissors into a DDT, which he successfully did. So once he went right to the top corner side rope, this is where Orange Cassidy was like, all right, like now he's down. Like, you know what this means is where it looked like he was about to hit my hit. I mean, not my finishing maneuver, not the Assassin Valley Driver, but his finishing maneuver, the move that he will never hit me with, and that's the Orange Punch. But before he can even attempt to take off his elbow pad, this is where we got Wheeler Yuta ducks out of the way. It's where he ends up orange punching him instead, and this is where he hits an orange punch right onto Claudio Castagnoli. This is where he didn't let that slow. While he didn't let that slow him down, this is where he took off his elbow pad. Like, this is where he tried to go for an orange punch, but this is where you got Marina Shafir then kicks the referee out of the ring, and I was like, "Are you out of your mind, woman?" Like, this is why I started shouting at Roderick Strong, taking his gimmick, and telling him to control his woman. And I was like Roderick Strong, get your wife out of here and calm her down. And this is where then we got nobody came out because unfortunately Roderick Strong was not in the building tonight, like for some reason. But this is where we got. This is where the Orange Cassidy was like without no referee, like what I'm gonna do now. This is where John Moxley came in from with the go for the sleeper hold. I'm like, yeah, they're continuing to drink that Cincinnati water because why they're doing such crazy and nonsensical things like when it comes to making an appearance like in attacking their victims, whether if it's backstage or inside the ring, like on AEW television as of late. Like, even though they were in New Hampshire, but they must have just flew there freshly from the city to drink more of that water that's hypnotizing. But luckily, Darby Allin then came in and whacked John Moxley in the chair from behind. But he ends up getting attacked by Wheeler Yuta. This is where they start stomping on him. This is where then we got Pac that's like, yeah. Not the chair, a skateboard. He hits him, John Moxley with a skateboard. This is where we got once Pac hit him from behind. This is where we got Pac past Wheeler Yuta with the skateboard. This is where he tried to tell him to knock his head off with the skateboard. But this is where he kicks him right in the face. This is where he then flips right up, like right after Pac to try to hit him with a German suplex. I'm like, wow, like how did he did that? Like he must have definitely learned that from his fellow Washington native wrestling buddy, which is Bryan Danielson, of course. This is where then he hits Pac right into the midsection. This is where then he hits Wheeler Yuta in the face with it, and then he after that he hits Pac with the skateboard right into his face. This is where Claudio Castagnoli tried to close on him out of the ring, but this is where he picks up the rope, pulls it down, knocks him outside. Darby Allin hits a spearing like suicide dive right onto Wheeler Yuta. This is where we got Pac was like okay, like one down and only two more to go. This is where he tried to run up and try to go. He dodged out of the way. On to Marina Shafir. This is where then we got Pac. This is where he ducks out of her trying to hit him with the briefcase, but he ends up getting super European uppercut by the Superman himself, an interception. This is where then that's why we got Claudio Castagnoli since Darby Allin face first right onto Rita the ring post, where John Moxley then grab onto to what's that Orange Cassidy. This is where it was like a 5-on-1 beatdown, like with all the members of the Death Riders. That's what their names are. Death Riders did attack. This is where we got Marina Shafir and Pac picking him up. This is where we got what's his name John Mox starts slapping him around. I'm like, oh, this is such a nightmare. And this is where we got Willie Yuta hit the running knee, and I was like, yep, they struck again. All thanks to John Moxley's godforsaken hometown, Cincinnati. Like, I was like, damn you, Cincinnati and the Bengals. Well, what the hell y'all doing? But anyway, this is where it ended with them getting standing up tall. But yeah, this is gonna get the 5th place red ribbon of the night. Like, not so much of a great match, but still was one intriguing tag team match, like, which it should have ended in a better way. But other than the ending, like, yeah, this was something that was must see, like, especially with Darby out, both high flying competitors that should deserve an AEW World Title run. Like whether it fits either what's his name, Orange Cassidy first, or even Darby Allin first. But let me know in the comments below who should be AEW World Champion. And they were advertising, which was announced a week ago, and that was John Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. Who do you think is gonna win this AEW World Championship match? Do you think it's gonna be Mox or Cass? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But let's move on to the next slide. Let's see. This is where we got the 6-man tag team match between I'll say anything goes 6-man tag match, like, since the other members of the conglomeration was here, both Tomohiro Ishii and Kyle O'Reilly and Mark Briscoe. They were waiting for the Learning Tree to come out. That's where they start beating the hell out of what's their names, the Learning Tree, like, until they got into the outside, like into the corner. This is where we got both Mark Briscoe and the what do they call it, Tomohiro Ishii, the something Pitbull. I'm just gonna call him the Pitbull. They both double tossed Jericho right into this wedge table that they planted right into the right corner side near the L&D announce table. This is where Big Bill hits a devastating boot right to the face of Tomohiro. This is where Mark Briscoe started hitting that redneck kung fu. That's what he calls it, not me. I always call it like a better term for it, like I'll say the Briscoe